Hey school leaders, it's Adriana, and as you can see, I am by myself. We are living that quarantine life here in Reading, just taking a few extra precautions just to be safe as we go into the school year. I am just so excited to bring to you guys news about our new sessions that we are releasing October 9th on BSSM Equip. We have handpicked these 12 sessions just for you guys because we believe they are so timely for today. We cannot wait for you to hear from our directors of Moral Revelation, Cole and Caitlin Zick. In a teaching called An Invitation to Holiness, they open up and share their personal stories and talk about the importance of purity and holiness in today's world. We've combined two sessions into one where Cole and Caitlin both share. In the first session, called Sex and Your Story, Caitlin shares about the different ways people are introduced to sex and how that impacts culture. In the second session, called Sex in Today's Culture, Cole shares on the beauty of sex within marriage. Those views impact culture and your view on sex. We also have a session called Questions and Answers About Sex by Chris Vellington. He takes questions about purity and sexuality from the students and gives godly advice on how to live a pure life. We also have a few sessions from our Papa, Bill Johnson. These sessions are so important for being effective in ministry and impacting culture. In a session called Recognizing Tactics of the Enemy, Bill shares 3 tactics the enemy uses to derail believers and gives you tips on what to watch out for. In a session called More Than Your Gifting, Bill talks about the journey of growing and exploring your potential in the kingdom of God. And finally, in a session called Stewarding Increase, Bill shows you the importance about the way that you think about your giftings. He talks about the responsibility to be active in stewarding your gifts so that they can continue to increase in your life. And while we're on the subject of stewardship, we've got a session by Powerhouse Havilah Cunnington. If you haven't heard from Havilah, jump online and search for Truth to Table Ministries. In a session called Stewarding Your Responsibilities, Havilah talks about the importance of carrying your own load and not carrying the burdens of people around you. She pulls from Galatians 5, and this session is so important to teach your students healthy boundaries. We have a series of sessions on the Apostolic by Chris Vellington. These sessions will prepare you to transform cities and your spheres of influence. Chris has a 2-part series called Moving in Apostleship. In part 1, Chris talks about moving away from denominationalism and into apostleships. This is a great teaching on the roles of how apostles change culture. And in the second part of this series, Chris shares about how to empower your people as saints instead of sinners under the old covenant. You're going to want your students to listen to this one if they are out there impacting their culture and their city for the kingdom. In another teaching called A New Apostolic Season, Chris talks about equipping and releasing people to be sent into their purpose. You don't want your people to gather under denominationalism and be confined within the 4 walls of the church. You want them out there impacting culture, and this session will show them how to do it. We've got one more session by Chris V that talks about the actual nature of God's love. In a session called Love That Wins, Chris discusses how God's love manifests in this world in ways that are beyond our understanding. This session is so important in today's climate, especially when offense is so easy to come by. We really want to teach our people how to live out of God's love. We know that this has been a really challenging time. Many of you have had to move your schools online and are not meeting in person yet. But we really believe that BSSM Equip can make your online school even more effective. You can assign sessions for students to watch online at home, which will free you up when you're able to meet in person for things like worship, activations, connection groups, and so much more. You'll also have access to our school leaders training section, which has our toolkit, which has a ton of paperwork, sample applications, book reports, just different administrative things. You remember that admin binder? All of that is in that section, as well as recordings from our past Equip Summit and Converge School Leaders trainings. Speaking of the Equip Summit, we will be gathering here in person in Redding, California on February 24th to the 27th. We want to see you guys. Please come and join us for 3.5 days of powerful teachings by BSSM leaders and get refilled. We are here to pour into you, and that week is especially for you guys. Keep an eye out on social media or your newsletters for registration details. We cannot wait to see you all in person. You know, I just want to share with you guys how proud I am of you all. You guys have endured so much this year. And for those of you who don't know, I myself did first year at a small school of supernatural ministry down in Central California, and that school forever changed my life. I'm here because of that school. And so you guys, school leaders, you are my actual heroes. I'm so proud of everything that you guys have gone through, and just the endurance that you guys have run this race with. You guys have endured so much, and you're still going. We've heard incredible testimonies about increases in words of knowledge, healings, families being restored, and even the gospel being shared and the harvest being so ripe. And we're just proud of you guys for keeping on and pushing through no matter what the circumstances. We are just so encouraged by your faith and your resilience, and I wouldn't want anybody else to be leading schools but you guys. We are praying for you and your teams and your students, and that you guys would have more than enough this year. I want to remind you what Colossians 1:27 says. Christ in you is the hope of glory. Keep spreading hope. Keep spreading the glory of Christ. Keep pressing forward. Don't stop. If you ever need anything or you want to sign up for BSSM Equip, shoot us an email at schoolplanting@bethel.com. We are here for you, and we're championing you on. We love you guys. You're in our hearts, and please let us know if you need anything. Stay safe and stay healthy, and be blessed.